Good morning, everyone. My name is John. So I am your manager. So I will leading our meeting for today. So before we start, may you introduce yourself first?
My name is Leonardo Justinos as Human Resources.
My name is Paul and I am the agronomist.
My name is Christopher Samit, so I am for the financial officer.
So good morning, everyone. Welcome to our 5-year plantation management review for our 2,000 hectare estate. So today we will analyze how the price change, cost increase, labor issue, and best trade affect our performance. So before we begin, how is everyone doing today?
So I'm doing well, slightly busy with labor planning, but everything is under control.
Yeah, good morning everyone. So for our meeting today, I will prepare all the 5-year for the budgeting, and I'm ready for that.
Good morning, everyone. For the field performance, it has been stable, and I am also ready to share the agronomy impact for each scenario.
So great. So let's begin.
Okay.
So here is the agenda for our meeting today. We will go through each year situation, discuss the financial impact, agronomy effect, labor requirement, and decide the best strategy for the estate. So let's start with the first year. Rexler, may you for the first year?
Okay, for the first year that we have been done and discussed for today is the price. We have a big problem for the first year because the price dropped for the oil palm, which is 20%. So for the 20%, in the first price of our oil palm plantation is 500 baht after cutting from price drop from oil palm. So the new price for the year 1, we got 400. So our production remains at 40,000 tons. So our revenue will become 16 million. But for our operating costs, costing because we have operating costs about 80 million. So we are facing loss that will cost about 2 million. So our starting cash will be 5 million. So we will end for the year with RM 3 million. So to break even, we need to cut a bit for the year 1, about 11.11% for our cost, which is about 2 million. So with the moderate cuts of about 8 to 9 million, or 8 to 9%, we can reduce the loss to around about 200k to 500k. And the ending year will be about 4.5 million cash.
So how about the agronomy report?
Okay, so for the field side, the palms are healthy and the yield is also remain stable. But if we cut too much cost, especially for the fertilizer, the yield will drop next year. Therefore, we should not cut the fertilizer, the weed management, and also the pest surveillance because they are essential. Okay. So, however, we can safely. What can be done is we can safely delay the crop grading and also the machinery upgrades and non-critical repairs to moderate cuts. It will protect our long-term yield.
Right. So how about the HR report here?
So from our discussion from HR department, the report is our labor is force stable. If you want to reduce costs, I can just adjust the labor arrangement. We can reduce overtime, reduce contract workers, and also combine certain blocks. But we must not reduce harvester. This is because harvester drop, fresh fruit FFB, will be left on the tree, and that becomes a direct loss.
Okay. So Tim, do we agree to make a moderate cut and avoid touching critical agronomy area?
Well, from the financial, I look further for the financial, which is I support the cut about 8 to 9%, which is the percent that we will manage.
For me, as agronomist, I agree with that. Just the one that I don't agree is do not cut the fertilizer.
I can contribute savings from operations without affecting our productivity.
So alright, we will proceed with 8 to 9% selective cut. We also accept a small loss this year and protect next year. So the yield, end of year one is cash will be around 4.5 billion. So for the second year, can you tell us for the second year actually?
Alright, for the second year, we have big profit in for the second year, which is year 2, because the price increased about 25%. So if the price increase, which is 25%, so we will get from 625 per ton. So and the productions still at about 14 tons. So our revenue will become 25 million. So for the operating cost, it still remains about 18 million. So the profit, but we need to remember because if our profit exceeds from 3 million, so our government will tax us about 500k. So however, because the profit is above 3 million, so yeah, that's why we need to pay about 500k. So in the final profit, we got about 6.5 million. So our cash will increase about 11 million.
So how about the agronomy?
Okay, for the agronomy, from the decision that we have made in year 1, it helped us to maintain our full yield, and the palms remain healthy with no decline.
How about the HR?
For this year, the level is stable, no major issue yet.
So since the second year performance is very well, so we maintain full operation with no cuts. So end of the second year cash will stand at 11 million. So how about the third year, Wexler?
So in third year, we got a little bit problem because the fertilizer price increased by 30%. So in here, I think Oyon also remember what is percentage about 30%. So this will raise the operating cost by about 1.62 million, making our total cost about 19.62 million. So for the revenues, it still remains because the price of oil palm increased in year 2. So our revenues remain about 25 million. And our profit will about 5.38 million, and our cash increase about 60.34 million.
So can you tell us about the agronomy at the third year?
So for the third year, we have 3 options that we can do. Is the first one, we can cut the fertilizer, because as we know, the fertilizer is cheaper now, but for the yield, it will drop 10% for the next year. And then the second one, we can do the normal program, which is there is no yield loss. Okay, and then for the last one is we can increase the fertilizer, but it will cost us high. And the good part is the potential is long-term benefit. Okay, so my strong recommendation for this third year is to maintain the normal fertilizer. It is because if we cut the fertilizer, it will hurt us more in the year 4 and also in the year 5.
So there is anything happen? Human resource, Leo?
No major HR action needed this year.
So for the decision at the third year, we will maintain the normal fertilizer program to protect the yield. So year-end cash will come 16.38 million. So at the fourth year, which is Mayo, do you have anything to say about the HR, Leo?
Yes. For the fourth year, we bring a shortage of migrant workers, because right now we have 2 choices. Number 1 is increase wages by 10% to retain the workers, because this can add about around 784,800 ringgit to cost. So the number 2 choice is do not increase the wage, because if we increase the wage, we will lose around 15% of yield. So yield loss will cost much more than the wage increase.
So How about the finance section?
Well, I hear about your opinions and options from the year 4 about increasing the wage, or we do not do nothing. For in my expected visions, in here, in option 1, if we increase the wages, the new cost will be about 20.4 million. So our operating cost will be increased, but the revenue stays about 25 million. And the profit also about 4.6 million, and cash for year 4 will be 20.98 million. But if we do not do nothing, or if we not increase the wages, so the yield will drop, because if we, as our economists said before, we do not, we must not reduce the amount of fertilizer, because that's for the best yield for our farm. So if we don't increase the wages, so the yield will drop about 34,000 tons, and our revenue also drop about 21.25 million, and the profit only 850 million. So how about you? What about your visions for agronomists?
So from my vision as an agronomist, what we must do is we must retain workers, because the yield loss is very damaging right now.
So we will increase the wages by 10% to protect the yield. So the year-end cash will be 20.89 million. So for the final year, which is the 5th year, there's anything happen, Olen?
Yes. The things that happen is we have a backbone infestation risk. So there are 3 options that we can do. Is number 1, we need pesticide that will cost us 300,000 ringgit. So if we have the pesticide, we can prevent all of the losses that happens. And then the second one is we can use the biological control, which will cost us around 150,000 ringgit. And if we do that, we will lose a bit of the yield, which is 5%. And then the third option is we just do nothing, and the cost is 0 ringgit. But the yield cost will increase in 20% of the yield loss. So for me, the best option is we use the pesticide to fully protect our yield.
So how about you, Wexler?
Well, from financial review, well, I think if we choose our pesticide method to reduce the backbone infestations, well, the cost will become 20.17 million. So it's a bit high cost. So, but our revenue will also remain about 25 million, and the profits about 4.3 million. And the final cash for in year 5, because the problem that we face in year 5 is about the backbone infestations. So the final cash is about 25.27 million. But if we do nothing, the yield will cost, and the revenue also will reduce drastically.
So how about the HR view, Leo?
From HR view, we are fully support the pesticide because yield must be protected.
So for the 5th year, final year, we will use pesticide to avoid the yield loss. So this brings our final 5-year cash to 25.27 million. So to summarize our 5-year performance, for the first year, price will drop and drive to moderate cuts and small loss. For the second year, the price will recovery to 6.5 million in profit. So at the third year, we need fertilizer price increase to maintain program, which is drive us to 5.38 million in profit. At the fourth year, we have labor shortage, which will increase the wage to protect yield. So the final year, the 5th year, the backworm treat. So we need pesticide to prevent major loss. So our final cash position after 5 years is 25.27 million, showing that consistent, well-planned decision protect both short-term cash flow and long-term asset sustainability. So, thank you everyone for your cooperation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone.
Uy,